Hello everyone, and welcome to today's Algebra End of Course Exam Prep question. Today we are going to be looking at a question from the 2017 spring test. It's going to focus on functions, constant values, and translations. So what we see here is a question that is question number one, as I mentioned, but it goes over the graphs of two functions, f of x and g of x. It says where g of x equals f of x plus h are shown. And we have the graph shown there. Now, we're probably going to need to interpret this a little bit. As you can see, they show this red graph right here. It's called f of x, and the blue graph is g of x. The question is, how does f of x turn into g of x? Now, if you look up here where it says where g of x equals f of x plus h, they're actually hinting at some type of translation. And that's the big word today, is translation. Now, I did have some notes saved so we can remember what a function translation is. If you check it out here. Tells us that a vertical translation, it's outside the function, and it's done if you add a constant like h to the outside. It's going to shift it up or down. The horizontal will be left and right. That's inside the function. Now, as we see here, we have g of x equals f of x plus h outside. We know it's shifting it up or down. And you can kind of clearly see that visually. You see this red graph is being shifted up to the blue one. Now, the question is, how much does it shift up? And that's what we get to determine now. I'm going to use this masking tool as a kind of a neat way to try to figure this out. Let's look at this bottom point here on the red graph and figure out how many units it counts up to become the blue one. Well, if we click and we start to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, you see it went up 5 units. Let's check another red point. Let's start at this one. It goes up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So again, we see that 5, that number keeps showing up as our vertical translation. And that means h is exactly what you think it is. H is 5. That tells it to shift up 5 units. And that's it for this. We just need to remember that adding on the outside of a function is a vertical translation, and we can see that here. Now that's it for this video. We did take a look very quickly at translations. We want to look at constant numbers a little bit more in detail, so check out that description below. There is a link for a follow-up practice question that helps you kind of lock in some of these concepts. So look down below, please click and follow along, and we'll see you again next time.